Batman, on a level, you could be the greatest individual in football history.
We are back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is losing the dressing room, because we've seen what happened with Donny van der Beek and Paul Pogba yesterday. But first of all, Hodge, how are you doing?
I'm all good, my bro. I'm all good. How are you? Have you recovered from yesterday's Barcelona-esque performance?
I can't lie, I wasn't even mad yesterday, you know.
You didn't look it.
Because I'll be honest, at this moment of time, I've accepted it, innit?
Yeah,
I know we're bad, and I can't even lie. I didn't even think the performance was as bad as we used to kind of thing with United.
I think, I forgot to say this yesterday, innit? I think we played better against Aston Villa than we did yesterday. But against Aston Villa, we lost. And yesterday, we won. But like, I hear you in a sense where you're used to it. Like, you know what you're going to get. Like, it doesn't even matter. Ever since Ole put out that great team against West Ham and Man United lost, that's when I was like, you know what, fam? Like, it doesn't matter the 11, it doesn't matter the subs. United are still going to look shit. But, bro, like, when the whistle goes, innit, like, you still want to be entertained. Fam, football's not little cheeky 1 hour at Power League with the man them, fam. It's a whole hour and a half. That's 2 hours of me just seated there watching shit. So the frustration builds up.
Are there any mods here in the chat as well? Because like these fake accounts, man, they're bare jarring. But I can't lie, let's start with, first of all, you see yesterday in the first half, I don't know how you saw it, but it was kind of like, for me, we played like a 4-1-4-1-ish. With Pogba and Bruno as 2 8/10s or whatever you want to call them. How do you think that worked?
That's what I had a show on Town of Trafford, and that's what one of the brothers over there said. He said it looked like 4-4. To me, it looked like 4-3-3. It looked like 4-3-3. But it just looked, because Pogba and Bruno were so advanced, that I understand when people say, like, yo, it looked like a 4-1-4-1. Well, fam, like, it's worrying when your team is playing and you're sitting there and you have no idea what the formation is. That's a red flag by itself, because if it was, I don't think it was a 4-1-4-1. Hell no, I don't think it was. I think it was a 4-3-3, but Bruno and Pogba just had no positional discipline. Like, Bruno, I'm not surprised. That man don't even play in the areas that he's meant to play in. Pogba, I think with Pogba, yeah, like, I think it all stems from frustration. Because, like, you see, when you play football and you're playing in a team that doesn't have the ball, and you're an attacking player and you don't have the ball, like, bro, the game just becomes shit. So you know what it is? Just take measures into your own hands. Like, everybody does it. And I think that's where the frustration stems from. So I think it was a 4-3-3 that just went sideways.
Do you think we had the personnel to play a 4-3-3? Because I've always said, yeah, if we are going to do the 4-3-3 with Pogba and Bruno as 2 8s, yeah, the only team that's really emulated it in terms of an attacking point of view has been Pep Guardiola with David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne in it. And when they've done that, they had one of the best holding midfielders the Premier League's ever seen in my eyes, with Fernandinho there, who has the mobility and the passing capabilities to play that role. I don't think McTominay has that. I don't think Fred, or even probably Nemanja Matic, has that.
I think McTominay at the moment, he's just getting shoehorned into the team, yeah. Like, he's not a 6. Look, I don't rate McTominay in the slightest, yeah. But the one thing I'll always say about McTominay is, I think if you were to deploy him as a box-to-box, I don't think he'll be that bad, because he's got a lot of attributes that suit the whole box-to-box role. But as a 6, you can't be a 6 and not comfortable on the ball. You can't be a 6 not comfortable taking it on the half turn. You can't be a 6 and not being progressive. And that's just me talking about him on the ball. Off the ball, it's a different story. So I don't think we've got the personnel to do it. Hell no. But at the same time, I've always said, bro, you've got Matic who can do it. But the only thing is, you need to play a 4-3-3 in a team that monopolizes possession. We need to have the ball, because when we don't have the ball, there's going to be a lot of focus on Matic off the ball. And when you don't have the legs, you're going to get ran through. So you've got players there to make it work. It's just, my man doesn't know how to make it work. That's what it is.
Because another thing, yeah, you see when Pep Guardiola played this, he had his fullbacks coming inside when David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne obviously went forward. And then his wingers also stayed out wide kind of thing, providing the width. If we're looking at the people that played yesterday in terms of our wingers, Sancho wants to come inside, kind of thing. Link up player stuff. Mason, same thing. He wants to come inside and shoot. So I don't necessarily think Oli chose the right personnel to play that kind of thing. Because say if there's Martial, for example, and everyone knows I'm not Martial's biggest fan, but I know Martial will probably do that role better in terms of that he can stay out wide and take people on.
Yeah, but that's what I'm telling you, bro. Like, I don't think Oli actually works on a formation on the training pitch, because I've always said it. I don't think Oli actually knows his players' strengths and weaknesses. He doesn't. I don't think he knows it, because if you're going into a game and you're realizing, yo, we don't have the ball, you've got players on the bench that can retain the ball, but he doesn't bring them on. So with the whole like wingers, who's really an out-and-out winger in this Man United team? Like, the only one that I can think, Greenwood isn't. Sancho likes to drift inwards. Pogba likes to drift inwards when he plays on the left. Rashford likes to drift inwards. Bro, like, he's not the type of guy that's going to hug the touchline and stretch out the pitch.
But that's what I think in the modern day, other than probably Leroy Sané, those touchline wingers are so hard to have, kind of thing.
Yo, bro, even if you don't have them, yeah, it's like you can tell them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, how many times have we seen a player play in an unnatural position but just do a good job at it, yeah? The thing with Oli is he doesn't tell them. Like I've always said it, Man United are intuition FC. Just go out and do what you want. Go out and find the solution. And yeah, if he wants to play 4-3-3, either he needs to go out. Well, I'm not even going to go out and say go out and buy them, because he's already spent enough money. You just need to instruct the players on what to do. Like yesterday, it looked like these players went out without any instructions. That's what it looked like.
I big up Adeleke. I'm probably butchered that pronunciation for the super chat. You can play a 4-3-3 with match 6 allows Pogba and Bruno B8s, but they got to drop deeper when we don't have the ball. Match can tackle, so can Pogba. We can play it. What do you think of that?
I don't think that will happen, because look, Matic can sit. At the end of the day, are we going to dominate the ball? If not, that means you're going to be asking Bruno and Pogba both to drop deep and defend. And I don't think either of them like doing that. I'll be honest with you, bro. Like, at the end of the day, you can tell them to do it, but I don't think they like doing it, bro. They're both not like defensive-minded players. I think they're both 10s. Like, a lot of people like to say, yeah, Pogba's an 8. I think Pogba's a 10. I think they're both 10s. If you're going to play 4-3-3, you can't do it with 2 10s. You can't.
You know what I think it is with that, yeah? I think Pogba and Bruno both have like good defensive numbers and good defensive capabilities. But at the same time, they're not disciplined enough, kind of thing, innit?
Yeah, but bro, discipline stems from management, innit? Like, it's like...
No, but I think even, like, for example, if you tell Bruno to be a bit more disciplined, I still wouldn't trust him, kind of thing. And I still would know that he will have those tendencies to go higher up the pitch. Because yesterday, for example, you know, if we're looking at Diego Dalot, most of that came down from what Bruno was on the right-hand side of the midfield free. And did he really help out Diego Dalot a lot? For me, the answer was no.
Yeah, but then that will still stem from management, bro. Like, yeah, let's say you don't trust him to do it, bro. At the end of the day, if you're a player, you listen to the manager. If I'm putting you in a role and I'm telling you, listen, this is what you do on the ball, this is what you do off the ball, I want you to operate in a certain area. Bro, if you're not doing it, we'll work on it. Don't get me wrong, innit? Like, bro, like, it's hard for a player to play in a position that they're not used to, that they're like not accustomed to. Yeah, but right after a month, if you're not listening and what you're doing is like becoming detrimental towards the whole team, you will get dropped. Like, how many times have you seen top managers walk in and drop a fan's favorite because they're trying to implement a formation where this player does not fit in? But say, if you can't do what I want you to do, you're on the bench. Either you adapt, or you know what it is, isn't it? You just move on. With Oli, the problem, and like I said, this will be one of his downfalls this year, is he's got favourites. These favourites play in a certain way. These favourites play in a certain position, and he's not willing to change them. So like any other manager, like you've seen Pep cook Grealish and Mahrez on the side. Tell them, listen, do this, do that. Oli doesn't do that. Literally, just go out, do what you want.
You know what I think could be interesting in a 4-3-3 though? Like, obviously, this is never going to happen. But say, for example, in a midfield three of Matic, Donny, Van der Beek, and Paul Pogba. Because for me, that probably, as I said before, that emulates, you know, when Solskjaer first came in, Matic, Herrera, Pogba, the most, innit? And, you know, I trust Donny Van der Beek a bit more defensively because I think he's a bit more defensively disciplined than a Bruno. Then I'm kind of like, you know what? It could work.
It can. Bro, Like, if me and you would sit down right now, I can probably list you 3 lineups that will work. You could probably give me 3 different lineups that will work. Yeah, it's just this is why there's always a problem when you're a manager that has favorites in a team, because at the end of the day, you're gonna have to shoehorn those favorites in. Like, look, I love Pogba on the left. Okay, I think Pogba's so creative on the left. He gives us something completely different to all the other wingers that we have. But at the end of the day, you're playing Pogba on the left to accommodate McFred. That's what you're doing. And that's all these biggest problems. His biggest problem ever since he walked in. Yeah, he's got favourites and he'll play them. And sometimes those favourites don't benefit the team as a whole. And that's where the problems all stem from.
And drop Fernandes, you're bugging. That's why I said, which is why I don't think it will ever happen, because then Bruno's not in the team.
The team is built around Bruno.
Let's touch on Donny now. Donny van der Beek yesterday. Frustrated on the bench. For me, I think is rightly so. Because I think Ollie's kind of like, you're kind of taking the mickey out of Donny van der Beek, really. In terms of, we know our midfield's our biggest problem, and you're still playing what someone like Scott McTominay, Fred, over him.
I think with McTominay, it's like, I get the frustration, because it's like, whenever you've played at a team and you know your quality, okay? Here's the thing, especially when you're new to the team. Yeah, like I've gone into other teams before and I've looked at the lineup and I've watched the team. I don't understand. When you get signed, you're not going to walk into the team unless the team is slacking in certain areas. But you know, when you're on the bench and you train week in, week out, day by day, and you look at the players that are starting ahead of you, over time, it pisses you off, because you'll just be sitting there thinking, fam, I'm getting violated because I'm better than you, and he's better than both, McFred. But he doesn't get half the minutes, let alone a quarter of the minutes that they get. Like, even last year, by the way, like, everybody, we've started the new season and shit. He fully got violated last year as well. He didn't get nothing. And this year, it's been worse. Like, there's been so many games, because this year we've started off worse than we started off last year. So you could argue last year, United looked good in the beginning, yeah, besides the 6-1 against Tottenham, that it's not really worth changing up anything. Bro, United have lost 3 times in the past 4 games, excluding yesterday's. And my man still didn't ring up the changes. Van der Beek is not part of his plans. I just feel for him because, look, he's still young. Like, they even said it on the other channel, bro, like, man's younger than McTominay. So he's still young. He's still got his whole career ahead of him. He knows the World Cup is coming. In the back of his head, I miss the Euros, which I'm already frustrated about because of injury. World Cup is coming up, and LVG's come out and said, if you're not going to play, you're not going to get called up. But the thing is,
and you know, LVG is ruthless like that as well.
Yeah,
he means it.
And the thing is like, he's in a position now where it's like his hands are tied, because, bro, like, you want to play, you're fit. When you do play, you prove yourself. But at the end of the day, you're not the person in charge of the team sheet. And bro, it's frustrating. Like I said it yesterday, like, I respect him so much for going about it the way he does. Like, whenever he does interviews, he doesn't speak against Ollie. He just says, like, listen, like, I trust him. I'm going to abide by what he says, and hopefully he fits me in. Like, fam, any other player would have just lost their shit, because it's not as if in the double pivot we're playing 2 world-class players. No, they're 2 players that he's better than. So for his sake, I think in January is best. I think in January he will push through a move, because the World Cup is coming up. That's what I think.
I think he has to, innit? Because I think, you know, where the frustration comes with Donny, I think is he's been promised that he's going to get game time. He hasn't got it. Remember in the summer when his agent came out and said that Donny van der Beek is not just going to be a European player. He's not just going to be a cup competition player. He's going to play in the Premier League. And we haven't really seen Donny van der Beek play in the Premier League or even the cup competitions right now. And now Donny's probably looking at it. We're out the Carabao Cup. When's his next game really going to come?
Yeah, that's true. Because at the end of the day, when a player is signed, like, you know what role you're going to get in this team. Some players get signed and they just know they're going to be like plan C. Yeah, like, bro, if plan A gets injured, there's going to be a plan B. Then you're plan C. Bro, if you know this and you know you're playing once a month, you already know what you got yourself into. Donny van der Beek came into Man United thinking, listen, I've walked into a team. I don't think Van der Beek was promised starting 11. I don't think he was. I think he was promised in and out of the team. Like, he'll get minutes. But blood, like, the minutes that he got last year are like the minutes of a youth player. Like,
He
even
started 4
Arsenal-
games last year in the Premier League.
I didn't even know this, yeah. And like, it's not as if Man United were doing an Arsenal in a sense where it's just Premier League and Cup games. Nah, this was a Man United that had Champions League, then dropped into the Europa League. Yeah, we done relatively well in the Carabao. We got like to the latter stages. We got to the latter stages of the FA Cup. But there were a lot of games and there were a lot of injuries. The fact that he couldn't play, it should have been a red flag. And like I said, the criticism strictly goes on to Oli, but at the same time, it's naivety, in my opinion, from Van der Beek. Because if you just saw this is the way this manager went about it in your first year, how do you think he's going to go about it the following year when he's made a few additions to the squad?
I hear
Because
that,
now
but at
you're
the same
competing
time,
with more money.
he tried leaving though.
Yeah, but I don't think he tried to push it through. Like,
Yeah,
I think it was more of the-
I think he's quite respectful, kind of thing, innit?
Yeah, bond respect, bro. Fuck respect, man. But respect don't get you anywhere. Yeah.
See, that's what I
it
said
is.
as well. I said this a couple of weeks ago. I think Donny's too nice. When I saw his interview with Rio, I think that's the biggest problem. Because I think if he had a bit more about him, then potentially he gives something, like he gives Oli a thinking kind of thing, that I'm definitely going to have an unhappy player that's going to voice it out, and then it could cause problems in the dressing room.
Yeah, but bro, I'm not gonna lie, fam. At the end of the day, performances speak for themselves. Yeah, with Man United, the problem is you can afford to go out and drop a stinker and know you're gonna play the following day. Bruv, it's shit. Like, you become comfortable, and this isn't just football; it applies to everything. Bro, if I go into work and I know towards the end of the month when I've got deadlines, I know if I don't hit my deadlines, I'm getting cooked. First week of the new month, they're getting onto, man. Yeah. So, bro, the last 2 weeks of the month, I'm working. I'm putting in the hours, yo. With Man United, it's like you go out, you play hide and seek like a McTominay, you drop a stinker, you don't contribute anything on and off the ball, but you know, 4 or 5 days later, I'm going to start. And that's why another problem that Oli's going to have this year is every single player on his bench is demotivated. Bro, I saw the pictures yesterday. What? Martial hooded up. Man didn't give a shit. Now here's the thing, Martial's not everybody's cup of tea. The man's just sitting there. Like,
You could argue the
Martial
same
looked
thing
like-
about Eric Bailly as well.
Yeah, like, bro, they look like two players that didn't even get up to warm up. None of that. If you're a striker and you're seeing your team as 1-1, yeah, going into the final minutes of the game, and you're not even getting told to warm up. Like, you're not even in the manager's thoughts. Bro, I won't be motivated. You know what I mean? Like, even when you bring me on, I'm not even going to play as much as I want to, because I know if I come on and score a hat-trick, you're not going to play me. So why on earth am I going to go out of my way? I'm not proving anything.
The perfect example for me, you see Eric Bailly last year, when Victor Lindelof had that spell that was injured around the January time. Eric Bailly did unbelievably well. We were top of the league with it. Victor Lindelof first game back, Man City in the Carabao Cup, he plays. Guess what happened? We lose. And then Lindelof's back in the team kind of thing. What more can Eric Bailly, for example, do in it? But big up United Hobs with the super chat. Big up the Mandem Statman and back to Cookie and your curry goal. Another keeping error. We should have lost 5-0. Bayern punished out, Oli out. I agree with the last part, but listen, respect Cristiano Ronaldo. Another goal. It was a tight angle when I watched it back, you know. World class movement, had to score that.
Fam.
Nah, Haj. Let me have that, you know. Tight angle, brilliant finish. Big up Ty as well in the chat, in the comments as well. This is I was gonna say something. The way Top Bread speak about Donny is that he's Ahmad and not proven. You know, Elanga started 2 Premier League games last year, and Donny started 4.
But they don't have a problem with Elanga because Elanga's come from the academy. You know what I mean? Like, I've always said it. These man don't watch other leagues, and they get so upset when I say this. Yeah, bro. These man, it's like a Premier League. And here's the best part. They don't even watch all of the Premier League. It's like if Man United play at 3, no, you know what? Let's say Man United play 12:30. 3 o'clock, their TV is off. They're not watching no 3 o'clock. They're not watching no 5:30. They're not watching no football on Sunday. It might be on in the background. That's why with these, man, they have no knowledge on any footballers outside the Prem, let alone outside Man United. Fam, this is a Van der Beek that was cooking at Ajax. This is a Van der Beek that I think the year before we signed him, Madrid wanted him. I don't know the finer details. I don't know what happened as to why it didn't.
I think it was probably finances with the COVID and stuff, innit?
But there we go. But this is a player that Real Madrid wanted. Real Madrid don't go out and sign shit, man. Like, this is a player that even like last year, he was getting called up to the Dutch national team and not even playing. Like he wasn't even playing. Like I even said this about Martial. Martial's getting called up to the French national team and he's only played like 90 minutes ever since the last international break. What does that tell you? If you're a good player, you're still going to get called up even if you're not getting minutes at your club. These men just don't know about Van der Beek. They just think Van der Beek is the number 10 and that's the only area he can operate in. And their beloved Bruno plays in the number 10. So in their eyes, Van der Beek has no chance.
I think that's probably the biggest misconception with Donny, that he can only play in the 10. Like I've seen people say that Donny's learning how to play in the English pivot.
I saw that.
I don't want to mention names here, but what does that even mean?
What's his name, fam?
Don't even say it. Don't say it.
I know who he is, but he chats bare shit.
I know.
Shit. Blood. Rob Sutton. Don't know his surname.
I don't agree with that. Like Donny van der Beek has proven that he can play in the pivot. Against West Ham in the Carabao Cup, he was very, very good in the pivot. Other than probably he switched up where his movement for the goal was wrong, that he lost his marker.
Yeah, but that's understandable, bro. Like, not every player is perfect. Bro, players are going to make mistakes, fam. Bro, Ronaldo makes mistakes. Messi makes mistakes. Flipping Varane made the mistake yesterday when one of their players went through on goal. Blood, when you jump on the pitch, just know there's always a mistake around the corner. Bro, like, here's the thing. If we want to start talking about their beloved players, I can write you a dissertation of the mistakes these men have made. But that's the thing, bro.
And you know what's mad? When we're talking about the English pivot or whatever you want to say it, are there people playing in a pivot doing very well? No, because everyone wants a new midfielder. So you can't say, like, say McTominay and Fred were playing 10 out of 10 games every single week and Donny's not getting a game, then I can understand. But McTominay and Fred have not been good enough. There's no excuses not to play Donny van der Beek.
I think it's because Van der Beek doesn't have the combativeness of a McTominay. He doesn't have that physique, that physicality. I think this is how Ollie looks at it. So he doesn't have that of a McTominay, and he also doesn't have the legs of Fred. I think that's how I think that's how Ollie looks at it. But at the end of the day, if Ollie looked at it differently and looked about it in a sense where, listen, I want players that are going to retain me the ball. Wow, like McTominay doesn't touch the pitch. Fred, as much as I like him, Fred doesn't touch the pitch. But at the end of the day, if you're going into games and you're thinking, listen, plan A is not to lose, then that's where McFred comes in. If you're going into games and saying, listen, plan A is to win, plan A is to impose ourselves, plan A is to actually pin the opposition in their own half and take the game to them, you're going to want ball retainers. You're not going to want to give any minutes to two careless men in the middle. But that's what it is. He's just very pragmatic. He's a coward. That's what he is.
And you know what the mad thing is, yeah? Fine, you want to start with McFred, yeah? Because you're scared or something, yeah? But when you know the midfield's getting beaten and the ball retention's not there, bring on a Donny van der Beek. Change it. But does he do that? The answer is no. His in-game management is shocking.
It's very poor. And I remember last year, before I even started making content, and I saw this little video. And one bro said, look, there's two ways to manage. Even though I think this video was bullshit. Man, them put up the camera and just talked for the sake of talking. They were just chatting shit. They were like, there's two ways to manage. Either you read the game, you see how the game is going. If the game is going left and you're losing the midfield battle, you change it there and then. I don't give a shit if it's the 20th minute or if it's the 45th minute. You change it there and then. Other managers go about it differently, which is, look, my midfield is getting outrun. My midfield players, let's just say, for example, the double pivot, they're both having a shit game. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to trust you two to see it out. And that's the problem with Ollie. He has too much trust in his players. Fam, you can trust them as much as you want. Trust isn't going to make them any technically better. It isn't. It might give them confidence, but they're still going to get outrun. They're still going to pass the ball to the opposition. If they're playing shit, take them off and work on it on the training pitch. Ollie, it's strictly trust. That's why even his subs, Ollie does very late subs because he tries to give players as long as possible to find a solution. If not, then it's like he's forced into making a sub. But I've seen managers do triple substitutions on the 45th minute. Ollie's out here, 70?
Even yesterday, it was quite late as well. I'm pretty sure Villarreal made 4 before we made 1. I think it was.
Yeah. I saw that. I saw that. But that's exactly like the final. Like the final, that Europa League final is a final that no United fan should ever forget. Ever. Because if you want to talk about United DNA, that final did not embody anything of United DNA. But listen, that's too complex for certain people. If you just want to look at the game, my man, we couldn't find a solution. We couldn't break them down. Our goal was shit. They're out here ringing change after change after change, and you're not making a single change. He trusted them fully to see out the game. And that's his problem. He's just, you know what it is, bro? Like, I hate talking about Oli because it's so repetitive, yeah, but it's like, he doesn't know what he's doing. When you watch Oli, man has no idea what he's doing. But there's too much talent in that squad. Eventually, we get the win.
Answering this question here, does the team really play better with Donny van der Beek? And that is too safe. Against West Ham, that was probably one of his better games in terms of forward progressive passing. It was very, very good. And does the team really play better with him? Does the team play brilliantly without him? The answer is no.
I can't lie, blood. I don't agree with that comment in the slightest.
Neither do I.
He goes, no. Van der Beek has been given a chance. Bro, a chance isn't little cameos, 20 minutes here, 30 minutes here. You know what? I'm probably chatting shit. He don't even get 20, 30 minutes. He gets like 5 and 10. Yeah. You can't prove yourself in 5, 10 minutes. You prove yourself by playing week in, week out in the exact same position, doing the exact same role. If you're going to play 10 games, 3 of them are playing, I don't know, in a double pivot. The other 3 are playing as a number 10. And then the other 4 is playing on the wing. You get in the match rhythm, your match fitness will go up, you'll look sharp. But at the end of the day, every single game, you're doing a different role. Give Van der Beek 10 games in the same role with the same duties and then judge him. Bro, I'm seeing Van der Beek come on for 5 minutes. Bro, he's getting no touches on the board in 5 minutes. Man's just there running for the sake of running. So he hasn't been given a chance. A lot of people, and here's the best part. This year when he played against, who did he play against this year? West Ham. He looked good. He looked so good. But I was seeing on Twitter that he's shit. And I was just like, bro, you man just don't understand how the game works.
He replied saying
he was good.
He played in, yeah. And another thing, it's always hard to judge on isolated games, as you said, isn't it? For example, Fabinho, when he first came in, for the first 6 months, he wasn't really a guaranteed start for Jurgen Klopp. And then once he got a bit more Jurgen Klopp like slowly brought him into the side, and then he got a run of games. Then we saw how good Fabinho was, for example. And you could argue he's the best holding midfielder in the Premier League right now.
Yeah, it's all about trust. Like, I can guarantee you, if Van der Beek had the same trust that McTominay has, Van der Beek would be shining. That's exactly what it is. Like, man played well in the League Cup. And here's the best part. He didn't even play with the A team. He didn't even play with the first team players. Yeah, but man played in the League Cup with a team of players that haven't played since pre-season, players out of form, and players that are on a similar boat to him where they haven't had any minutes under their belt. It was basically 11 men that were rusty, and he still looked good.
And now, what do you think of this question? How would you fit in Van der Beek, Pogba, and Bruno? Because for me, I've always said Pogba on the left, Bruno in the 10, Donny in the pivot. I think you can fit those 3 in.
Wait, what? So, like, you said what?
Pogba
Bruno
on the left.
10. Oh, shit, yeah.
So, in a 4-2-3-1, how we normally play, Pogba on the left, Bruno in the 10, Donny in the pivot.
Yeah, that's the only way. But here's the thing. I like to go about it differently. Like that's how I would fit them 100%. Like, I would put Matic with Van der Beek.
Yeah.
But my take on it is like, even if you don't trust him to play in the pivot, why don't you study the opposition in a sense where if you're going into a game and you're thinking, listen, we're playing up against a team, they're going to be happy with 1 point at Old Trafford. You know what it is? They're going to be happy with sitting back and just countering us. So you know you're going to endure a low block for 80 minutes plus. You don't play Bruno. Like, fam, I don't understand where this right has come that a player has to start week in, week out. Bro, what's the most successful team in the UK at the moment? Man City. Bro, everybody calls it Pep Roulette. You don't know who's going to play with City. What? One week it's Mahrez, 1 week it's Grealish, 1 week it's this, 1 week it's that. You utilize a squad. Football is a squad game. Yeah. No matter how good Bruno's numbers are, some games are not tailor-made for Bruno. Some games, Bruno is probably better off coming off the bench and having an impact then. But the thing is, we stick to the same 11. And it gives no opportunities to any other players. And this isn't Bruno slander. This isn't me saying, oh, Bruno's not worthy to start. No, Bruno is definitely worthy to start in the number 10. But it's just, Oli can still fit Van der Beek in his most favoured position, but just against certain teams. But he doesn't.
Someone said Donny can't play the 6. I think he can't play as a lone 6, but in a double pivot with someone like Nemanja Matic, who's more defensively disciplined and is a natural holding midfielder, then I think it works. Like when people say a midfield 3 of Bruno, Pogba, Donny, Van der Beek, then that's when I like, no way. That's never going to work. Another thing I was going to ask here, you see the Mason stuff? The thing that's sent in the chat?
Yeah. The thing that I was saying in the morning.
Yeah, what do you think of that? Because I can't lie. Mason's my second favourite player at the club behind Cristiano Ronaldo. I think any United fan that has an agenda against Mason Bruno is stupid right now. Like, I don't think he was selfish yesterday. I think you could say he was selfish the other day, but yesterday, I wouldn't say he was selfish.
I'm not gonna lie. Greenwood isn't like one of my favorite players, in it. But like I love the guy. I rate him, but I feel like he's frustrated, isn't it? And it's the same. You know what it is, isn't it? Any attacking player will get frustrated at Man United because attacking players love the ball. If you're an attacker and you're getting the ball every now and then and you're getting it in shit areas, you're going to get annoyed. That's where the whole selfishness stems from. And you could even say the same thing about Bruno. You could say the same thing about Rashford. If you're getting the ball every, 3-4 minutes, you want to do something on the ball. You're not trying to play safe. You're trying to cut in and have a shot. That's why I've always said, you look at the Man United team and it's no surprise the players that flourish the most are the selfish ones. The players that like to bounce the ball off one another, the players that like to play a team game, they don't flourish. Because you're not going to get your flowers for doing a 1-2. You're going to get your flowers if you pick up the ball, cut in and just smash a shot from 35 yards and it goes in. With Greenwood, I can't lie to you, bro. I don't think you can play Ronaldo and Greenwood in the same team. You can't. It's just 2 players with an eye for goal, but 2 players where it's like me, myself, and I at times. And he wasn't selfish yesterday, but he was crazy selfish in the past 2 games.
Yeah, like someone said he put in a great cross for the Cavani chance.
Yeah,
I think it was Mason that put that in.
It was Mason, but you can't have too many selfish men. It's not going to work. Like, yeah, you might think, yeah, cool, they're selfish, but they've got a lot of quality, but it messes up the whole balance of the team. And you're going to see more of this. You're going to see so many more times where Greenwood could have passed to Ronaldo. You saw it last year against Leipzig, where I think it was Rashford went through on goal and then he could have passed it to Greenwood and Greenwood would have had a tap in. Man, try cut back. That happens when you've got men that are like, well, they're just selfish, innit? Yeah, like they want to score.
Like this comment I agree with. I don't think Green was good yesterday, but he wasn't selfish. 100% agree with that. And I think with Mason, it's kind of like, I do know what you're saying with him and Ronaldo, innit? Like Mason, I said it. If Mason wants to play with Ronaldo, he needs to change his game. We know Mason has an unbelievable cross on him. Try crossing the ball a bit more. We saw it again yesterday, and we've seen it previous games against Wolves, for example. But does he do that? The answer is no.
I wouldn't tell Greenwood to change his game. If I was the manager, I wouldn't tell him to change his game. I'd probably tell him to cut out some things. That's what I would definitely tell him. Yeah, I'll definitely tell him to cut out some things, like continuously picking up the ball, cutting in and having a shot. I've always said there's a time and place to have a shot. Sometimes you're better off just passing it on. Like, yeah, you've carried, you've cut in. Now just give it to somebody else in a better position. But the one thing that Greenwood does well is he knows how to put the ball in the back of the net. So I definitely won't tell him to change up his game.
No, maybe change is the wrong word here, but adapt his game kind of thing, innit? In terms of every little thought that Mason has normally is come inside, shoot every single time. But sometimes add a bit more variety to his game.
Yeah, but he's not a winger, bro. This is a guy that grew up in the academy, learned his trade as a number 9. Like it's very hard for him to change up his game now. And the thing is, the way he's going about it, it's working. But that's why I said I haven't got a problem with him on the right-hand side, cutting in and shooting. It's just tone it down, and that stems from management. Yeah, similar to Bruno. When we always say, like, fam, it's not every given opportunity you put the ball in the box. Like, sometimes just recycle it. Just recycle the ball. That all stems from management. But if you're going to play Greenwood on the right, you need an out-and-out creator on the left. You need to. Like, I'm shitting it for the day that I'm going to see Greenwood on the right, Rashford on the left, Ronaldo up front, and Bruno in the middle. that's going to be a calamity. But on paper, it looks good.
We nearly saw it yesterday, kind of thing. Cavani, Ronaldo, Bruno, Mason.
Mm.
All shooters, no major creators.
Yeah, and it's awful. But that's the thing, bro. In Ollie's eyes, the way he looks at it is, the more shooters I have on the pitch, the more shots we're going to get away. And eventually one of them will go in. That's why we always say, yeah, like even me and Ty were talking about it. Like, you see when people get upset and we say, Man United literally rely on moments of brilliance, like individual brilliance. The reason why we score so many goals from individual brilliance is because we've got so many selfish men in the final third. You've never heard Man United score a team goal. There's no surprise everybody got excited over the Lingard goal against Newcastle because it's rare. You don't see it.
Saeed as well, mocking it in the chat. Statman got the fresh stream for the Ollie sacking. Listen, we're waiting for that. We're waiting for that moment. So, what do you think of Cavani as well? Because I can't lie, I've seen a lot of people praise Cavani yesterday for the performance and the running here, but I can't lie. You know that little run that he made when he won the ball back? I don't necessarily think that was smart in a way. Like, obviously, that's Cavani's play style and kind of thing, innit? But I don't know. This Cavani-Ronaldo thing, what do you think about it?
There's no way you put them in. There's no way you fit them in. You can fit them in if you're a team that creates a lot. But even if you're going to play two strikers, there has to be a diversity between the two. You can't have two identical strikers. No, it don't work like that. Like, it doesn't. Like, I don't even want to go into detail about it. Like, it's common sense. You don't play two of the exact same. You don't do it, yeah. Like, they're both, in their 30s. They've both got good movement. They're both not the fastest. They're both not the best playing, receiving the ball with their back to goal. Yeah, they both operate in the exact same area. It's not going to work. And here's the best part. Neither of them are the type to pass the ball. They're both relatively selfish in a sense. That's not going to work. Like, bro, you look at all the best striker partnerships. There was a balance between the two. They complemented each other. But that's the thing that just boils my blood, yeah. Like, everybody wanted to say Lindelof and Maguire didn't complement each other. Fam, this whole team doesn't complement each other. There's a reason why we play shit. There is no balance in this team. McFred doesn't complement each other. You want to put Ronaldo and Cavani up front. That doesn't complement one another. So no, Cavani's just going to have to... The way I would do it is in the weeks where we play twice, one game you start Ronaldo, the other week you start Cavani, because that's how you're going to get the best out of them. You need to keep them fresh. If you're going to play Ronaldo 90 minutes on a Wednesday, and let's be real, Ronaldo's going to start on Saturday. You're going to give Ronaldo another 90 minutes. But Ronaldo, 60 minutes into the game yesterday, Ronaldo was finished. Bro, man couldn't even run anymore. Like, he was done. So, utilize the squad, but he doesn't know how to do that.
Say we play a back three with Ronaldo, Cavani up top, Telles, Dalot, wing backs. Would that be something that you're interested in?
No. I'm done. Man don't like that, man.
I think when Ronaldo first got announced, I was looking at his Juve teams and stuff, innit? I think there was a point where there was like a back three and a Ronaldo-Mandzukic partnership up top, I think it was, innit? And I remember asking in the chat, who mirrors Mandzukic's off the ball work rate the most in that squad? And everyone said Cavani.
Bro, not in the slightest, bro. Like, the one thing that Mandzukic was good at, he was a nuisance in the box. But Mandzukic was one of the best receiving the ball with his back to goal. Bro, like,
you know what's funny? You know, as much as I criticize Martial, I actually want to see a Martial Ronaldo front two if we ever play a back three.
Hey, where's Ty, blood? The Martial praise is coming out.
No, I'm not even praising Martial yet, but I know what Martial is good at, kind of thing, innit? And I think that could be an interesting dynamic that could work.
It's all about balance, bro. Like, that's why I've always said, yeah, like I've said this on Rance's thing so many times, that football really isn't that hard. Like, it really isn't. Like, it's just everything is about balance. If you're going to put Ronaldo, you look at what he brings to the table and you need to counter it. You need to get a partner that brings the exact opposite. You can't have two identical breads. Ronaldo and Cavani won't work. Ronaldo and Martial will definitely work, because Martial isn't even greedy. Like, Martial is the type of guy to do all the shit in terms of holding up the ball, linking up the play, and then just give it to the best finisher in the world at the moment, and he'll put it in the back of the net. But if you've got two strikers don't complement each other. They operate in the same area. They do the exact same thing, and they both want to score rather than lay it off. Yeah, it's going to be curtains.
What I was going to say this here. What do you think of the Pogba situation as well? Because I can't lie, Pogba did look. I don't know, man. I think it's more frustrated. I don't know if there's anything more that we can read, kind of thing, into that.
I think with Pogba, it's look. At the end of the day, when you're a player, bro, like these men go out on the training pitch every single day. They listen to Ollie. They know what Ollie has to bring. They know about Ollie's tactics. They know everything. Okay. These players are now seeing the exact same repeat of last year. Well, last year we were shit, but we were just grinding out results. But like we did. I don't think we deserved half the victories that we got last year. Now, if you're a player and you see that last year and you think to yourself, all right, cool, we played shit last year and we won, but what did it get me come May? Nothing. It got me nothing. And now you're in September and you're seeing the exact same thing again. And here's the thing, like I've always said it, as a player, you know your opposition, yeah? But if we came up against, I don't know, like we came up against a Bayern and they were cooking us, and Man United scored last minute, everybody would have been celebrating because, yo, you look at the opposition. But Pogba's out here probably looking at Villarreal and thinking, like, fam, you man are not even good. Yeah, you man are not even good. Like, there's nothing special about you, man. Like, I swear, when I looked at that Villarreal team, yeah, and I was like, mad, they don't even have Chukwueze, they don't even have Moreno. They're the only two players I know, and you don't even have them. You man shouldn't be a threat. So I think with Pogba, it's just frustration. Like, he can see where it's heading, but he can't really do much about it. And I think it's also, Pogba is becoming, like, you're becoming to see it where if Man United need to make a change, an attacking one, it's always Paul Pogba. You've never seen Bruno come up when United are chasing the game. You've never ever usually it's Greenwood as well. But now it's become like, yo, it's Paul Pogba. And that's what happens when you play a player in their unnatural position, just to accommodate other man. And
you know what I think? You know what I think it is with the Pogba situation as well? I think I really, really doubt there's ever going to be a major falling out between him and Solskjaer, because I think he has so much respect for Ollie, innit? Because of all like the youth academy stuff. So I don't not necessarily think that Paul Pogba, say even if he is kind of unhappy, that he's going to be a massive problem. But if that ever does happen, I think that's probably the moment where I think Ollie will probably get sacked, in it. Because in my eyes, Paul Pogba other than Cristiano Ronaldo is the biggest personality and guy in that changing room, kind of thing, that unites everyone.
Yeah, no, I hear that, but I would have agreed with it if Pogba was on a 5-year contract. Because if Pogba was on a 5-year contract, in terms of the club as a whole, they lose a lot by having a unhappy Paul Pogba. Bruh, if you've got an unhappy Paul Pogba at the moment, I don't think these men give a shit, because they know man's only got 6 months left. You know what I mean? Like, brother, it's fine. Like, no matter who you are, if you've got an unhappy person and they've only got 6 months left and they're leaving, it's not worth messing up everything for that one person. I think it's either Bruno. I think it might be Ronaldo. If Ronaldo loses his head because of who Ronaldo is and the status that he has, and all of these players would rather listen to a winner like Ronaldo that's actually won it everywhere, in comparison to Ollie. Yeah, Ollie's the manager. At the end of the day, Ollie hasn't won anything. Ronaldo's played for managers where he's won things. Yeah, Ronaldo knows how to approach games in a sense, even though he's not a manager. So I think if Ronaldo loses his head, that's when a lot of players will turn. And you can already see it. Like, don't get it wrong. Ronaldo scored, took off the top, put up the Instagram pic.
Straight away, you know.
Yeah, but as in, deep down, Ronaldo knows. Like, bro, I saw the cameras when United conceded. Bro, man looked pissed. This is a team that Ronaldo used to get hat-tricks against in flipping La Liga. But now they're coming to Old Trafford.
14 goals before yesterday. Against him.
There you go. They're coming and they're cooking him. Yeah, so that's what it is. But I don't think Pogba turning will change anything. I think it has to be one of either the new signings of Varane, Ronaldo, Sancho, or the players where like the team is built around in a sense, which is a Bruno.
See, I don't know, man. You see with the Bruno one, I think that's a difficult one, because I don't know if, like, you see with the change room, I don't know if Bruno is that guy just yet, kind of thing, innit? I think obviously everyone probably respects him in terms of his numbers on the pitch, but I still think Paul Pogba holds a bigger weight off the pitch. Because you see Paul Pogba like with Zlatan in the past, with Eric Bailly right now, Nemanja Matic. For me, he's always been that guy that kind of everyone likes in the changing room. No one said a bad word about Paul Pogba in my eyes.
Yeah, no. Like Pogba's like everybody's go-to guy.
Yeah,
He's like the most upbeat player in that squad. Like, but the only problem I have with it is I reckon if Oli looked at it and saw that there was one unhappy person, like you know how they always say, yeah, it's easier to bin the manager than bin a whole squad if the players aren't playing well. That's the case right now with Pogba. If Pogba's unhappy and Pogba's coming out and saying things and expressing himself, in the eyes of Oli, it's gonna look like, yo, it's just Pogba. Pogba's leaving. Yeah, Pogba's trying to like maybe Pogba's causing this unrest because he wants out. But I think if like for example, De Gea still got a few more years in him. I reckon De Gea is also very respected, similar to Pogba. I reckon if he loses his head,
so is Phil Jones apparently.
What do you mean?
He's respected in the changing room.
Oh yeah, but he's probably respected because he's been about.
He's won stuff, innit?
Yeah, but it's like these are players that know how to win, and if their heads turn, I still think it's Ronaldo. If Ronaldo's head turns, there's going to be 4 or 5 man. Their head will turn without even thinking about it. Bruno's head will turn. Lingard's head will turn. Yeah, all of these players, but every single one of them will turn. That's why when people said Ronaldo will get Oli sacked, there's truth behind it. Like we're not bantering, like there's actual truth behind it. Because I don't want to say it, but it's like I'm beginning to get a vibe where it's like Ronaldo is bigger than the club at the moment. That's what I'm beginning to see.
I could hear that. And I think that's why, for example, yesterday there was so much uproar with the Mason picture. Because Mason kind of looked at Ronaldo that they were on the same level kind of thing. But everyone normally says Ronaldo's above everyone else kind of thing. So I do kind of hear that, even though I love Ronaldo. Big up Ezio with the super chat as well. Ronaldo's more effective in a 2 if he's playing as a centre forward. He's not an out-and-out number 9. Look at his Juve comps. Him and Martial could work. I 100% agree with that. Remember, I've always said it, yeah, when people said Ronaldo's a fox in the box, I disagreed because I see this guy floating around everywhere kind of thing on the pitch. I don't think he's ever like an Erling Haaland, for example.
No, but that's Ronaldo, bro. Like Ronaldo is like, especially now, Ronaldo likes to be on the ball. If you're a player that likes to be on the ball, you're gonna drift towards the ball in a sense, yeah. Ronaldo up front is basically on a free roam thing where it's like you can just do whatever you want, okay. But the only there's nothing wrong with that, especially if you're playing one striker. If you're playing one striker, there really isn't nothing wrong with that. But you know where the problem is? The problem is when your number 10 operates in the same way. The player on the left-hand side operates the same way. The player on the right-hand side operates the same way. Everyone's all over the place. Nobody really sticks to their position. That's where the problems come into play.
This comment there by Jeremy, no one hates Bruno as well, though. Yeah, I agree with that, but I think Paul Pogba has been at the club longer. He's built relationships with these players for a much longer time, which is why I think Paul Pogba holds more weight in the dressing room than a Bruno, for example. Yeah, and this comment here, quickly, Ahmad's coming back from injury, innit? I don't think anyone's forgotten about him. I think that's the only reason that we haven't seen him.
He's not going to play. Ahmad is not going to play. He isn't, because he didn't play last year. The fact that United went into the final week of the transfer window and then thought about shifting him out on loan, but it tells you he's not even in their plans. And it's like United at the moment are still struggling to give out minutes to players that are, shall we say, like senior players in comparison.
Like Juan Mata, for example.
Getting minutes. No, I'm not going to lie in it. I don't want Mata to play again.
Yeah, neither do I, but I'm just saying, innit? You gave the guy a new contract last year.
You've got the Van der Beek, you've got the Martial, you've got Sancho that's out for 2 games and played yesterday. But these are all players that should be getting minutes. Do you think in the back of Ollie's head he's going to have an 18, 19-year-old? Hell no. He's going to play in the under-23s. Come January, they're going to shift him out on loan. I'm not saying he should start. But bro, there's always a time and place. There's always going to be a game which is tailor-made for an Ahmad. But that's the thing. Ollie, he doesn't like taking these risks.
Let's talk about Dalot now, because I can't lie, Dalot's probably been one of the players that I wanted to see get given a run in it. And I can't lie, I was kind of disappointed with the performance yesterday. But from a defensive point of view, we know Dalot is weak, kind of thing. He's not the strongest. But at the same time, did he really? I'm not making excuses for him, because I'll probably say the same thing about Wan-Bissaka. Did he really get help around him? Was Mason tracking back? We know in the midfield when we tried the 4-1-4-1 or 4-3-3, we were a bit more defensively kind of bypassed. It was so easy. So I don't know about Dalot's performance yesterday as well. I need Lindelof next to him as well, instead of a Rafa Varane normally.
I think with Dalot, like I've always said, yeah, this doesn't just apply to Dalot, it applies to any player. Like I will never ever make my judgment and say, yo, I don't want this player to ever play again from a player that doesn't play week in, week out. Yeah. If Dalot was given a good run of, let's say, 5 to 7 games and he performed the exact same way in every single one of them, then I would have said, yo, man was given his chance and he was just shit. Like, you know what it is? He's not worthy of it, yeah? I don't know, maybe take 6 months out, work on your game, and then come back.
Or maybe just go on another loan.
Yeah, but this is a player that came on against young boys, didn't play again till West Ham, and now he's played again. So I don't expect him to have a good game. The only thing that I was worried about was, and I said this even when we signed Dalot, he doesn't strike me to be a fullback. He strikes me to be a wing back. I think wing back, he's tailor-made for it. That's why I even said it yesterday before the lineup came out. I was like, fam, if you're going to have 2 attacking fullbacks, just play 5 at the back. But when I said it, in a lot of people's mind, 5 at the back means defensive. No, it all depends on the personnel. I've seen managers make 5 at the back look like one of the most attacking formations out there. So, in a sense, he didn't have the best of games. I feel like Greenwood could have helped him out, but at the same time, like he didn't come up against the Lionel Messi. Like he should have been able to hold it down by himself. But there's nothing wrong with that. If you lose your battle, you change it up. The manager should change it up. If you see your player is struggling out there, save him in a sense. Either by changing up the formation, telling somebody to help him, or just take him off. The fact that he stayed on and he continued to get cooked, and eventually the goal came from the left-hand side, I can't really blame Dalot because the alarm bells were there from the first minute, but we done nothing to change it.
Make sure you guys like the video as well. And someone said, no, Dalot can't even defend 1v1. Other than Wan-Bissaka, most defenders struggle in 1v1 situations. It's a fact. No one wants to be isolated in a 1v1 situation. And especially, for example, with like a Diego Dalot, was he really 1v1 where Danjuma was on the touchline? No. It was actually quite inwards kind of thing, innit?
Yeah, but this prior Wan-Bissaka signing for Man United, there weren't many fullbacks out there that were labelled as the best 1v1. Bro, you defend as a team. You defend as a team. If you see your left back is getting cooked, you communicate on the pitch, you give him the support that he needs. The manager on the side should be able to acknowledge that. Like, listen, my player is struggling. I need to do something about it. It's all about adapting because prior to whistle, you don't know if your defender's going to get cooked. You don't know if your striker's going to have an off game. You don't know what's going to happen. But as you're watching the game and you see all of these stuff, you change it up. You adapt. You tweak it. All he did, I said it from minute 5. I was like, listen, he's getting cooked. And this Danjuma guy looks like a threat. He's either going to end up scoring or playing a part in one of the goals. And it just continued to happen. It's frightening in a sense because he took him on so many times and he beat him every single time.
Do you know what it's like? You know what this reminded me of? Remember Wan-Bissaka against Leipzig when Angelino in the first 10 minutes, 20 minutes destroyed him and we didn't do anything about it?
That's what
it was literally a carbon copy to that.
Yeah, other managers wouldn't do that. That's why I question Oli. There's so many things I question Oli, but even yesterday, even though we won, that should be an alarm bell because if United came up against, let's say, for example, a better winger than Danjuma, even though he had a good game, another one that had more about him in the final third, he would have had the game of his life. If they had any other good striker besides the player that they had up front, all of those chances that he created could have led to goals. And here's the thing, it's easy to pinpoint the blame on Dalot and be like, yeah, but Dalot got cooked. But at the end of the day, fam, it's not every man for himself on that pitch. It's a team. You defend as a team. You support your teammates. with Man United, it's like individualism in a sense. In the final third, me, myself, and I. In midfield, it looks like me, myself, and I. In defense, it looks like me, myself, and I. And that stems from coaching.
Big up United hopes with another super chat. Dalot is good defensively as Trent. Klopp is a tactician. His system very rarely allows for him to be exposed one-on-one. Ollie's a bum. Dalot's decent. I do agree with that 100%. But one thing I say, yeah, I think Klopp probably has more luxury in terms of making leeway for Trent's defensive capabilities because he's elite going forward. I don't think Dalot's elite going forward. I think he's good going forward, but I wouldn't say he's on the level of Trent.
He isn't because what Trent gives you in the final third, no matter how shit he is defensively, you have to find a way to accommodate him. You just have to. With Dalot, it's like he doesn't give you anything special going forward. He doesn't really give you really give you much protection.
It's just something different for us, really.
What do you mean?
In terms of that, he's probably more competent on the ball than like a Wan-Bissaka. He can link up play where, for example, the right-hand side player a bit more kind of thing, innit? Because there was a couple of times they played that clip ball to the right-hand side channel or the little cross-field balls and stuff. Or diagonals.
Yeah,
so that's something. It's something different to what we have, which is why I think a lot of United fans call for him to play.
He gives you something different, but is it consistent? I wouldn't say so because his crosses were poor yesterday.
Yeah,
he either underhit them or over. Yeah, he either underhit them or overhit them. Now, like I said, I'm not really gonna get onto him. He needs to play week in, week out. He needs to get comfortable in that position. He needs to build that like cohesion with the players that he plays with. That's fine. That's what I'm saying. I'm not really judging. I'm not really jumping on the boat of like, listen, we need to bin him. Hell no. But the only thing why Wan-Bissaka plays is because Wan-Bissaka defensively, you know he'll hold it down. With Dalot, it's like defensively, you're not holding it down. In the final third, yeah, man, seeing nice little passages of play, but they're not really leading to anything. Like your crosses yesterday were poor. Why on earth am I going to put you in? Why am I going to put you in a position to cross again? Like apparently, man hit over I think 8 crosses.
I think that's what it is with Dalot. I don't think in the final third he's unbelievable. But you see, like in the middle part of the pitch, I think in terms of building a play up, he offers a lot more than Wan-Bissaka, for example. Another thing, yeah, what you see with Dalot as well. People say like he's still 22, yeah, which is another good point when someone mentioned in the comments. But this guy has never really had a consistent amount of game time. When I'm looking at, for Porto when he signed it, he had 4 league starts. For Manchester United when he first came in, the 2018-19 season, 12. 19-20, he had 1. And then last year for AC Milan, he had 10 starts in the league. He's never really... Yeah, so he's never played over, 15 games a season in the league in terms of starts.
Yeah. So it's a lack of minutes. But the one thing I'll also say about Dalot is Dalot as a player hasn't been developed yet. He hasn't been nurtured in a sense because Mourinho took the gamble on him and he had only played 4 or 5 games at Porto. Man came into the United team in the season where it was the Mourinho sabotage. Didn't play much. Oli then came in. Didn't play him much. Wan-Bissaka got signed. Didn't play much. So it doesn't really make sense. Like, yeah, he's 22, but at the end of the day, these players need to be developed. Yeah. And it doesn't help. Like I've always said, yeah, no matter who you put in this Man United team, world class or not, in their prime or not, it's a recipe for failure. Like you're seeing ballers struggling into his team. You're seeing a Sancho that cooked in the German league and he can't even show you a quarter of what he's doing. Yeah. The fact that this team, like I've always said it, yeah, Man United, there's no cohesive system. It's very hard to get players to perform to the level that they want to.
Someone said Trent is only 22, not to mention. But I think Trent's had that consistent game time where he can develop himself. The only reason I'm kind of confident that Diego Dalot can be a top player, who brought him in to Man United? Jose Mourinho. We know Jose Mourinho has an unbelievable record with defending. Secondly, the teams that he gets linked with is not crap teams. He's not being linked with like Barnsley or something, is he? He's been linked with what? Bayern Munich in the summer. Carlo Ancelotti is apparently a massive fan. Borussia Dortmund were linked with him. So there are managers across Europe that rate him. Which is why I'm kind of like, I'm not finished with Dalot just yet.
No, because bro, like you can see what he gives you. Like even for a right back, yeah, like he's relatively big. He's relatively big. Like he reminds me of what's his name? Oh, is it Meunier, the PSG one, who's at Dortmund
Yeah.
now? Right,
Thomas
similar
Meunier.
build. Yeah, similar build, can carry, good on the ball. Right, at the end of the day, man's 22, innit? Yeah, he's not gonna shine when he hasn't played in months, and now he's getting the odd 90-minute here and there. He needs to build an understanding with the player on the right hand side. He needs to build an understanding with the player that operates in central midfield on the right hand side. That's how you get the team to work. You need to get everybody to see eye to eye. With him, yeah, look, there's a lot of issues in terms of defensively, he's not the best, but you can work on that. You can definitely work on that. Is he in the final third? He can work on his crossing. Like, he's not the finished article yet. He's 22 years old. Like, clubs are out here signing prospects at 22 years old, and only at 25 they hit the ground running. So it's not worth bidding him, but a player that needs to be developed, he's at the wrong club at the moment. That's why I said it would have been great for him to go Dortmund, because they're one of the best teams out there in terms of developing players. At Man United, he's not going to look good unless a top coach walks in.
Facts. Ahmad should have gone on loan to Dortmund, not to final, but it was injury, innit? Like, you can't really do much about that. Dalot isn't as fast as I thought he was when we first signed him. What do you think of that? Do you think Dalot's a rapid fullback? I wouldn't say he's massively slow.
I wouldn't say he's slow, but I wouldn't say he's rapid. Like, yesterday was a reality check. I thought he was faster than he was, but yesterday he looked slow. Or maybe that Danjuma guy was just rapid.
I think he's a bit of both, innit? Because Danjuma is a very, very good player. He's been linked to he was linked to Liverpool before he left to join Villarreal. I think this is Villarreal's rapid. I mean, not rapid. I saw rapid in the comments. Like, biggest, most record signing, I think he is, for over £20 million.
Yeah, I think that 24.
Yeah. And I think with Dalot as well, in terms of positioning, potentially when Oli spoke about it, he was trying to do the tucking inside role a bit more kind of thing, innit? So maybe at times that's why he got caught out on the outside, because he was trying to focus on his positioning from an offensive point of view.
I just think young players need guidance on and off the pitch, yeah. And I feel like with Man United, this is why, like I always say, there's not many leaders in this Man United team, yeah. Like it still shocks me. He was struggling and nobody helped him. He was struggling, nobody told him how to go about it differently. So Oli can say whatever he wants, yeah. Like, you can start from the right back and work your way all the way to the striker, yeah. Top players are struggling under him. So it all stems down to one thing.
Someone said Oli wanted him to do an inverted fullback role. If you got Oli's comments from yesterday, because I didn't see this, post them in the chat, because I can't lie, this is quite interesting, isn't it? In terms of he's trying to mirror Pep's 4-3-3 in a way.
Yeah, but if you're trying to do the whole inverted fullbacks, then you need your wingers to hug the touchline.
Yeah.
Our wingers don't do that.
And you also need a 6 that's competent on the ball.
Yeah, like, bro, like that's in terms of building up play. But I'm saying, like, in the final third, if you're trying to do inverted fullbacks, you need wingers that hug the touchline. Bro, our wingers were cutting in. So you're basically just making the centre more congested than it needs to be.
You're making the pitch smaller for yourself. That makes it easier for defenders.
Precisely. That's why, like, literally, we fall into the trap of a low block. People want to come out and say, yeah, like, we couldn't break them down. We couldn't break them down because even though we couldn't do anything on the ball, positional play also comes into play. And it's just everybody's positioning is off.
Gareth Southgate, I would like some time with Sancho to chat to him and help that process that's going on at Man United. Southgate ain't helping anything, man. Let's be honest.
Southgate is another manager that he's pragmatic. He's another manager that just relies on, like, individual brilliance. If it's not that, he's just putting balls into the back of the box. They're just constantly crossing. England are not good to watch. But when you look at the squad that England have, you raise your eyebrows and you think, fam, they've got all this talent, but they look shit. Why is that?
What we wanted, this is the comment. We wanted to give width with the wingers, with fullbacks inside to stop a counter attack. That makes sense. See, all of this makes sense, and I agree with this because I've said this in the past if we were going to play a 4-3-3, but the personnel isn't there to play this. You can't say we want the wingers to give width when you got Sancho and Mason. You can't say it.
I can't lie. If that's what you want to, if that's what you want to deploy, then why on earth did you sign Sancho? That's the one thing I'll always say. If there's a certain way that you want to play, why not sign the players that suit that rather than just go out and sign players for the sake of signing them?
What wingers would you think are most suited to play that? Because I can't lie, me thinking of it right now, Martial on the left, and if you want someone to hog the width on the right, it will probably have to be Marcus Rashford. And I'm not a massive fan of Marcus Rashford on the right.
I don't think it matters who the wingers are. I think it's just a matter of telling them to hug the touchline, which I don't think we do. I don't think so. Like, if you tell them to hug it, I think they will. Similar to how if you tell a player to play in a position that they're not used to playing, they will. But with Man United, it's like nobody who plays in their position in Man United. Like when you look at the team sheet, besides the back four, who really sticks to their position? Nobody. And it's like people want to come out and tell you like, yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Like when the players interchange, innit? It keeps the opposition guessing. Like you don't know who's gonna pop up on the left, you don't know who's gonna pop up on the right. But that's fine if they still stick to the position and they operate in the area of that position. Man United in the final third, the best way to explain it is a shit show. It's a free-for-all. Everybody is all over the place. Man seeing 4 men on the right-hand side, but 1 person in the box. How does that work?
You know what? This comment's actually right, you know. If you're going to have wingers that stay out wide, Dan James makes sense, you know.
Yeah. And it's like,
and I'm not saying Dan James is brilliant, but he's the most, you could argue, the most suited to the right-hand side, bro. In that sort of way kind of thing.
Yeah, bro. United don't have a system. We don't sign players tailor-made for the system. Like I said it, rather than paying 75 million for a Jadon Sancho, if you're going to sit back and want to counter teams, probably the best player in the Premier League at doing that is Adama Traore, because he will pick you up that ball and drive the 60 yards with it. Why not sign him for what? Half how much you paid for Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho suits a team that dominates the ball.
I think Adama was linked with like 40, 50 million pounds to Tottenham.
Yeah.
Big up Jesse Dyer with the super. Yeah, go on.
No, I was just gonna say we don't study our signings, and then when they fail, people want to blame it on the players. When in reality, you should blame it on the system and the manager that implemented that system.
Yeah, big up Jesse Dyer with the super chat as well. Hello, hey fellas, just tuned in. Yesterday was the first time I've seen obvious signs of the players starting to turn. It might be a while, but it's only a matter of time at this point. Cheers. I agree with that. I think that yesterday when I saw it, yeah, that was like the first time I'm like, raw. Players you can visibly tell that they're slightly unhappy. Like Donny van der Beek. I'm surprised Donny van der Beek threw the chewing gum. Not like I would do it. Like it makes sense why he done it, but I'm surprised that he done it kind of thing, innit? Because it's Donny van der Beek. Same thing with Paul Pogba. I'm surprised that he kind of turned his head when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was kind of speaking to him. And apparently he didn't celebrate for the goal.
Yeah, but bro, at the end of the day, man, these players are human. So like eventually everybody's got a tolerance level, yeah. Clearly with Van der Beek, it's reached a point now where like it's exceeded his tolerance level. Like man's just like, fuck this. This isn't running anymore. I'm not getting minutes. Like the good boy act needs to stop. The exact same thing with Pogba. Pogba's looking at Man United get outplayed at home to Villarreal. So there's nothing to be happy about. I said it at the time. Be happy for the way we won the game. Last minute, and because it's Ronaldo, like everybody's like got a soft spot for Ronaldo.
Champions League night.
Yeah,
at Old Trafford.
I get it. Celebrate. But then literally, once you sit down and compose yourself, you should be pissed off. But I said it, a lot of United fans look at it as game by game. So because Man United won, everything is getting brushed under the carpet. All the games that we lost are getting brushed under the carpet. They look at it game by game. I don't. I look at it in the long run. So I'm thinking, yeah, say if we played shit, but we won today. But last week we played shit and lost. The week before that, we played shit and we lost. This isn't good.
See, that's why I think it is, you know. If it was just a one-off game, we played bad, but we got the points, you know, I'll be like, you know what, those games happen, innit? Fair play. You kind of move on. But the problem with United, yeah, when have we actually had a good performance then? You're saying the Leeds game, and then after that, what? A Newcastle game where, for large portions of the game, Newcastle competed.
I saw something yesterday, which was apparently United have played 9 games this year and only been worthy winners of 2. 2
The
out
two
of
are
9.
Newcastle and Leeds.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's Newcastle and Leeds. That's nothing to be excited about. The fact that we've lost 3 out of 4 should be an alarm bell. The fact that up until the 70th minute, United were getting palmed by Villarreal isn't a good look, because this will happen against the top team. But the difference is that top team will be relentless. They will put it in the back of the net. And that's where Man United will lose. So that's why I don't understand a lot of United fans that look at it game by game.
Leeds game wasn't great as well. Most of the goals came from the break. That's most of the time with United doing it against Leeds. And I think against Leeds is kind of a different story because the way Leeds play, they'll give us that space.
Leeds play into our hands. But like, it was still, because they play into our hands, I'm not going to fault them for the performance. The performance was good. I don't think West Ham, I don't think Newcastle was great. I don't think Newcastle was great at all.
Yeah, I agree.
I just think, it wasn't the best.
But you know it was? It was Ronaldo's first game, 2 goals. The emotion kind of took over.
Yeah, 100%. But I think some of the performances this year, they should leave you worried. Some of them, Young Boys was worrying. West Ham in the League Cup was worrying. There's a lot of games out there. Villarreal, I think, was the worst one. I genuinely think, out of all of them, Villarreal was the worst one, because Aston Villa, I think we played all right. I think we played all right. We just couldn't score because we're clueless in the final third. But yesterday's first half was embarrassing. It was against a mediocre Villarreal team.
Potentially, I was probably more relaxed just because it's 0-0, innit? And we've seen United lose 3 of the last 4 games. That's probably what it was for me yesterday. But other than that, we didn't. Other than the Cavani chance, the header, even that, he didn't really see that coming. And then the Ronaldo goal at the end, did we really create much? The answer is no.
We never create. We never ever create.
But one positive that I did kind of see from the game. See set pieces from an offensive point of view. We looked like we were trying a couple different things, innit? For example, the Telles goal. And there was also another point where we tried playing a little short free kick and then a little reverse pass kind of thing. Not even a reverse pass, but a little switch. But it didn't work out.
Yeah, no, it was good to see, but we saw that I think a year ago 2 years ago when Bruno flicked it over the top for Martial against Manchester City. These are
we need to see it more often, kind of thing, innit?
Yeah, but you know what it is with those ones? It's I don't want to see them too often, because then they become predictable in a sense. It's nice when it's every now and then it catches the opposition off guard, but it's I'm not gonna credit you for that. Bro, at the end of the day, top clubs, there has to be a variety of ways to score, a variety of ways to break down teams. If you're thinking, if man's come up against a low block, my plan A isn't working, let me try something off the training pitch. Let me try something from a set piece. But the fact that that's all we're seeing from Man United, it's worrying, because there's no guarantee that we're going to get a free kick in that position next week. And if we don't have that opportunity to score.
And even then, that, for example, the Telles goal, it's going to be hard recreating that if Telles has another 20 shots.
Yeah, 100%. That's why.
And let's be honest, we know Telles ain't even going to play there. So what? You think Luke Shaw can do that? The answer's probably no.
No, but that's why it's I've always said it, and it upsets people. No matter, look, individual brilliance is probably nicer to watch in the eyes of many United fans. I don't really like it. I think it's nice on the odd occasion. That's why you call it individual brilliance, because it's rare. It's very rare to see a player pick up the ball, dribble past 3-4 players, put it in the back of the net. It's very rare. That's what makes it special. But I've always said, a cohesive system will always outshine individual brilliance. It always will over a season. And that's why Man United can't win anything.
Facts. Martial, just last stuff, innit? Martial, Ronaldo, Cavani, Sancho. Ronaldo or Cavani. Sancho will be a saucy front three for Saturday. What will be your front three for Saturday?
I think So everybody played 90 minutes. I think Pogba will play on the left because he got taken off. Okay. I think McFred will be back.
Yeah.
I think Bruno will play. I think on the right-hand side, you might see Sancho. And then I think up front, it will be Ronaldo. That's what I think Oli will pick. But if it was me, Ronaldo don't play. You give Cavani the minutes. Yeah, I think that's the main change that I would do because, like, I don't think Bruno is droppable at the moment. I don't think Pogba is. I don't think Greenwood is. But I think that Ronaldo 90 minutes and then what 2-3 days later 12:30 kickoff another 90 minutes against an Everton team. Bro, this Everton team they look.
But then we got an
solid.
international break over after that.
Yeah, but that's an international break for him to go and get a rest. At the end of the day, man's not going to get the rest at 12:30 on a Saturday.
Because I think Ronaldo would definitely start.
Oh, no. Ronaldo will definitely start, but it's like he's not going to have a good game because A, we're not going to create much for him, and B, I just don't think his legs are going to be there. Like, bro, man's 36 and played 90 minutes midweek. It's not as if we're playing on a Monday evening, but we're playing literally on Saturday. You just change it up. Like, go look at the team that Pep's going to put out on Saturday and compare it to the team against PSG. Completely different. Maybe 3-4 players will start. Completely different. They're all going to look fresh. Man United, we're going to look lethargic. We're going to look tired. And then that's when the excuses are going to come about that, fam, we played on Wednesday evening and now we're playing at 12:30. Fam, at the end of the day, you sign up a squad of flipping 24 man. I think it's 24, 26 man. Yeah. Right, you can field 2 11s with that amount of players. Utilize the squad.
Lingard. I can't lie, you see Lingard's impacts off the bench. He's been decent because I think he scored 2 goals and got an assist. I think this is something that people are overlooking on how effective Jesse Lingard's actually been off the bench.
No, but that's because of what Jesse gives you. If you were to compare Jesse to all of, like, look, we all know what United's go-to 11 is. So we know who the type of players are that are going to be on the bench. Look at all the players on the bench. Jesse's the most different one out of all of them in terms of what he gives us. Jesse's the only one that's going to come on, bare energy, press, get involved, get stuck in. If you do that, you will reap the rewards. Martial is the complete opposite. You bring on Martial in a game where Man United don't have the ball, he's going to look like a passenger. He's going to have no impact. So that's why Jesse is thriving at the moment.
Look at this comment right here. You lot are moving mad with all he hate. But I can't lie, it's funny. But anyway, wait. Plays a free row, great sub. Yeah, this is what we're talking about. Lingard as a sub, innit? Not as a start. But anyway, that's probably the end of the video. Over 350 people watching right now. So make sure you guys like the video. Follow and subscribe to Harj on Twitch as well. I whatever. What do you call it? Pinned his Twitch to the top of the live chat for this video as well. So make sure you guys follow that. Is there anything you want to say?
No. I'm all good, innit? Quiet week. I'll be back on the weekends with my watch-alongs, and yeah, that's about it.
Well, you're going to start off with United watch-along on Saturday?
Yeah. You know what it is?
Long day for you.
Saturday afternoon, blood. United might shit on it. I'm not going to lie, but it's reached the stage, innit? Win, lose, or draw. I don't care. It's just, I'm just more annoyed at the time. That's it. I'm just annoyed at the time that's being wasted.
I can't lie, I hate Saturday both kickoffs. Because last week we missed the City Chelsea game as well because of that.
I think that was intentional. I don't know. There was something about it that looked intentional because it's like Man United and Man City, and not Chelsea. Man United and Man City. 2 of the teams played on a Wednesday evening. So if anything, why are both teams paying the price on a Saturday? If anything, maybe one of them will. Why on earth would you make 2 games at 12:30 when, funny enough, 2 of those teams also played on the evening of flipping Wednesday? But that's your boy, innit? Man like Rickin.
And this guy is such a troll, you know, Rickin. Yo, Bainsy. And then he puts that dead emoji, whatever. I don't even know what that is. Big up Harsh too. I was going to say big up Rick. Can't lie. That feels dirty to say. But thank you for the super chat. But you're lucky you're not blocked. But anyway, that's the end of the video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and we'll be back next week. The show will be on Twitch next week. So make sure you guys follow the Twitch as well. The link is in the description.